Hey folks, I'm Dennis. Today I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to attach pins to your leather motorcycle vest or jacket. So if you have any pins for your vest or your jacket, no doubt you have some that are important to you that you don't want to lose. You know, various people give us pins, and we get pins for certain events that are kind of once in a lifetime, and it's important to secure these pins on our leather so that they don't come off. These little clutch backs like this that come on most of the pins, they're not secure. You can put your pins on your vest using these, but there's a high degree of likelihood that you'll lose your pin. So rather than use these clutch backs that come with them, the trick is to buy some of these little collars. You can buy them in various quantities, you know, whatever suits you. And some of them come with an Allen wrench that fits the collar. It's just a little hex-shaped wrench. If you're not familiar with that, it's got a long leg and a short leg. One's for, you know, to get it tighter, and one's to reach, but they're both the same size. And these little collars, you can also buy them in various sizes. Some of them come with the set screw already threaded into the collar like this. The Allen wrench just fits into the set screw, and then it loosens and tightens. They've got a hole through the middle for the pin, and so you got to be careful because they're small, but you put your Allen wrench in there and unscrew counterclockwise that set screw, pull it out a little ways, and then put your pin where you want it on your jacket, stick it through, and put this on there, and then tighten it up. So let's do one. You know, take your vest and figure out where on your vest you want your pin. So I'm going to put, I've got a couple pins here, and I'm going to put another one. And we'll put two more on here. Take those clutch backs away, and then, so I want this pin to go right here. So I'm going to place it, you know, press it through the leather. Some of them will have a, like this one doesn't, some of them will have a little extra ear beside the pin to keep it from turning, which I like. This one actually does. It's got a, if you can see that, it's got an extra little barb right here that'll keep it from turning once you put it in your leather. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Once you put that in your leather, it'll keep it from turning, so it's kind of nice. Some of them have it, some of them don't. The nice thing is, on these little collars, if you get them tight, they'll also keep your pin from turning. So I want this one right here, kind of top dead center. Press it through my leather. Be real careful not to get your finger on the back side. Get it turned the way you want it, you know, and then especially if it's got that extra barb, go ahead and seat that in there, and then just flip it over. So you get your pin placed the way you want, and the stud's coming through here. Then you just take this little collar and put it on the stud. You probably got to back the set screw out. Take your Allen wrench and back that set screw out several turns. If you bring it all the way out, it'll stay on the end of your Allen wrench. So just be careful not to lose it. But you can, and then you can start it back in there. Give it about a turn, you know, and it'll stay in there fine. Flatten out your lining if you got one. and then put this collar on the pin stud. Now be careful, if the pin sticks all the way through this collar, it'll poke you. Some of these collars are deeper than others. It depends on whose you buy. But as long as the pin's not sticking through there, you can just take it and kind of squeeze it down. If it is, get you a pair of pliers or take your fingernail or something, and then hold that collar down there real tight. Get your Allen wrench and then tighten a set screw up. And I get mine pretty tight. You got to be careful not to over tighten them, because you'll crack the set screw. But you can get them pretty tight where they stay on those pins. And then if I don't have that issue here really, but if the point of that pin sticks through far enough to poke you through your clothes or your jacket or whatever, then just take a file. You can even use a fingernail file if you don't have like any metal files. Just take a file and hit it across that point, and it'll knock that point off, and that way it won't poke you. And then when you're done, you've got your pin on there, and if you get it tight, it might turn a little bit if it doesn't have one of those studs on the back of the pin, but for the most part, if you get that on there tight, it'll keep it from turning at least too free, and or at least too freely, and then it'll be okay. Sometimes you have to straighten them out. That's why I like the ones that have the studs on the back, the extra studs. So same deal. Let's do one more. If you're not real good with small parts, get you a bowl and put your pin and your collar and your Allen wrench and all that in a bowl so that it doesn't get away from you. If you don't mind working with small parts, or you got a table that you can kind of spread out on and not worry about losing your pieces, and that's fine too. So I'm going to take my other pin, and I want to put it right here like so. We'll press it through the leather, being careful not to poke my finger on the back. I got it turned the way I want it, so flip that over and loosen your set screw up in your collar. Hold on to that, turn it over, just slip that on the point, and get the set screw to where you can get the turn so that you can get your Allen wrench in there. And now this one's going to point, this point's going to stick through a little bit. It's not going to be enough to bother me through my shirt, I don't think, but I could hit that with a file and then tighten that little set screw up. I'm holding it together real tight on my pin, and I'll usually take the short end of the Allen wrench and give that another good torque. Unless you have like a set of gunsmithing Allen wrenches or a bunch of really small ones, make sure you order the collars that come with the Allen wrench. That way you don't have to worry about finding one to fit. Now if you've got like a little gunsmith set of Allen wrenches, you don't have to worry about it. You'll have the right size probably. But these things are usually pretty cheap. I'll put a link below in the description of 2 or 3 sources of these collars. And like I say, you can buy them in, I think in like most places, like packs of 5, 10, or even 50. If you're a club, or you do a lot of leather work for people, you may want to order them in bulk. But that's the trick, and then that way you don't have to worry about your pins falling off and losing any of them that are particularly important to you. Yeah, so that's it. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. Like my video if you would, and check out some of my other videos on my channel. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you back soon.